All right, folks, this is the big one. Welcome in. We got some Group B action. We have round 2 of Titans League Platinum. Now, I do want to just clarify this because people have been asking. People have been looking for the Viper. Viper has not played his first round. Neither has Vivi. That is broadcast later on today. So we will get Viper, but since like the second round's officially starting with this cast, I just want to say Viper round will be coming. All right. Now, Hera and Yo had very similar starts in Group B. It's a killer group, but they were the killers. They got the 3-0 against the promoted players, Lucho and then Sizcon. And we got Yo playing as the Huns here. So say hello to the little Hunnic horse. Now, to all my mid to low elo players out there watching, are Huns OP on Nomad? Or are they just fine? Because when they first added this horse, tons of people were saying that Huns were just OP. They were saying it was really strong. I'm not sure I like Huns here for this map because you start with the fishing ship and you don't have the wood to dock right away. So, like, that fishing ship is just idle the entire time. Hera had the wood to dock. Hera's already adding more. I really don't like this pick from Yo. So, I don't know if did he test this at all? Like, did he try and dock? Someone's saying in chat, I want to double check. Oh, he deleted his dock. Wow, so he didn't have the wood for a town center. He had to delete his dock, so he even lost wood. Wow, okay, so, I mean, already I'm just thinking, like, did Mr. Yo test this at all? I would say that is the answer there is no. Huns start with less wood. They, of course, have the bonuses where they don't need to build houses. But that is not a good look for Mr. Yo to start off the game. I mean, you got to at least know what your build's going to be able to be. So that delays him. He will be down a couple fishing ships to Hera. And Hera's gone for the Malians, which is a civ we've seen here many times before. Buildings cost less wood, and villagers drop off more gold, and the town centers for both players are directly on the gold. So you have that combination of water, that combination of land. You know what I think Yo's going to try here, guys? He clearly didn't have the best of starts. I think he's going to go high risk, high reward. And he's going to play fast castle cav archers. Because he's going to have so many buffalo. Like, look at all the meat that's going back towards his TC. If you go feudal age, it actually gets awkward more than anything. To manage everything and then still have the buffalo sitting there. So I think this is just going to be fast castle cav archers. Which can work if you're at an economic deficit. It can work. On this map, if you control the middle wood lines, it doesn't matter how much fish you have. Like, what are you gonna spend the food on? Hera, I'm wondering how he adapts to it though. Normally, he would definitely play the feudal age approach to try and pressure on water and land. Yo's still gonna get fishing ships out, but like being down 3 or 4 workers is just not acceptable at high level AoE. Let's be real. It's just not. But maybe it is acceptable. Maybe Yo labbed it out. Maybe Yo built that dock to make me look like an idiot. Players do that sometimes. Speaking of players trolling, I have to bring it up now, and I will bring it up many times throughout the tournament, I'm sure, especially when I'm casting him. All right, chat. So he might even be here. So I was talking to Nikov last week after his series. And you know what what he said? He said, I didn't have time to place random palisades around the map, so your chat annoys you, and so they ask you to look at the corner. But there's still 4 more rounds, so there's plenty of time. Freaking Nikov, man, because you guys know how it is, right? Like, if there's like this one random buffalo left over here, there's always going to be a couple people that are like, hey, go look at that thing. Someone's got everything over there. Nikov watches the stream enough to know. I thought that was funny. I figured you guys would respect it for that. All right. So Hera's on the way up. Expected. Very quick time. I think the play here, it's going to be very similar to what Sebastian did the other day. You go for the second dock. I've seen some players even adding fishing ships on the way up, because that's your only food eco now. You're abandoning pretty much all the other food. Now, Hera doesn't have the scouting because the Huns get this horse. Yo did get up to 5 fishing ships. Yo knows that the TC for Hera is there and won't want to lose it. He seems to be trying to just bait the garrison there from Hera. And, well, there you go. Congratulations, Yo. You did exactly that, but now you lost your horse. That's horrible. That's horrible. There's something about these horses, by the way. They're very weak compared to a scout. I think it's just less HP, but like he tried to mess with Hera there, so Hera would have some idle time, but Hera, that's acceptable idle time. And now Yo doesn't get to see what Hera's going to do. Now, I do think that you know to a certain extent that it's just going to be a mix of water and land. So it's going to be fire ships and archers probably, or maybe galleys and archers. So you do know that. And Yo has 2,300 food underneath the town center. I mean, he's definitely going to have the food. But is he going to have the army? Is he going to have the fish? He brought in a lot of elephants as well. I don't know. Let's let Yo cook a little bit. I still think starting off and building the dock and having to delete it is horrible. I'm not convinced that he prepared it all, but Mr. Yo gets stronger as the tournament goes on. And he'll feel like if he can snag even one win against Hera today, he could beat everybody else in the group and still be in a good spot for the playoffs. But let's not forget, I'm going to show it again. Look at the names on this list. Hart and Vinchester are also in this group. They're very strong. Only 3 players from this group can go playoffs. And then Lucho, I think, is actually stylistically a very good player against Mr. Yo. So, yeah, we can't just be acting like you can get swept by Hera and still be fine here. Especially because maybe Hart and Vinchester could snag some wins against Hera, so. People have been calling this the group of death. I would say that's fair. Ops, thank you for the 5 gifted. Type, welcome back. 66 months from Type, my God. But yeah, Yo's going fast castle, cav archers. Will it work? If it works after the substandard start, I think it tells you this strategy is very, very strong. Hera's coming forward with a fire. Eventually, Hera's going to overtake on water. I don't know why this fire galley is going this way. I guess he doesn't know exactly where Yo is. A spearman and archer are going forward to find out. He'll know that Yo is fast castling as well. I think just based on how late the feudal age time was. That is a weak villager in there for Yo. Yo, please save your cattle. Do not let your cattle astray. Damn, Yo is on the way up. You know what I would have liked from Hera here? I would have liked 2 fires and then a bunch of fish behind. Just a crazy fishing eco. Like, he's definitely going to win water, but it's how much investment does he go for before he wins water? Yo is also going to try and fight on water, though, so I guess the way Hera's playing this is correct. Let's see if Hera could spot the cows underneath the TC. That looks ridiculous. That looks ridiculous. Again, it actually gets pretty inefficient underneath your town center. But yeah, holy cow, man. Again, there's still weak villagers on this wood line for Yo. That's going to be the biggest concern for him, is will he have the wood lines? He only added 1 skirm. Hera could be looking for there. And that, yeah, he does. I think, again, for Mr. Yo, that's got to be a detail you focus on. Maybe I'm being too critical, but we are talking 2 of the highest level players in the game. Nice pickoff there from Hera. And it's double range from him. No additional fishing ships behind. He hasn't actually killed the fishing ships from Yo yet. So he's still worried. He's still focused on that. And it just depends how you look at it. Like, I would like to see Yo just focus on Bodcanero and full Cav Archer numbers. I also would have really liked to see a tower here from Hera to fully deny this woodline. That would have put Yo under some pressure, but players don't like to build those towers. They'd see them as unnecessary at times. Yo's completely out of position. He had the fires here, and now Hera gets his reward. Amazing start for Hera in terms of the KD. We always knew it was going to be high risk, high reward here for Yo. And here's the risk and potentially the reward, because we've got Fast Castle, we've got Bodcanero, we've got Cav Archers on the way. He will have skirms. Like, those couple skirms in there could maybe use the range against Hera, but oh man, that villager almost died. I thought he was dead. And Hera gets another villager pick. Hera understands fully. Like, he's got very low army numbers. He's gone Fast Castle for the tech. No market or anything for Yo. The fishing ships are alive, but just sailing away. He is going to get some counter damage on Hera, though. Hera could probably deal with this, but this is frustrating for Hera. That's actually really nice. Hera's still microing pretty heavily on the front. And here come the Cav Archers now from Yo. Now, Yo knows where the town center is. So he shouldn't run into it, but he can sit right behind it. And then, of course, Hera's going to have some villagers exposed. And villagers will die pretty quickly there. That's going to be a villager down for Hera. Hera's now on the way up to Castle Age. Weird that Yo isn't attacking the fishing ships. I'm not sure exactly, but if you take the fire and then go back for the fish, that could be really good. Hera's still microing his archers over here, and every cav archer is so important for Yo, and he's just losing them. He's just losing them. He loses one, he almost loses another, and now that cav archer has to back away. This is risky, man. Hera's doing some good work. Hera's adding skirms. Hera's got the far better economy. So with the far better economy, he will understand that he can lose some units and everything's going to be fine. He just needs to hold. This is where I think Yo might actually need to understand cav archers aren't going to do it, and a siege workshop's needed, because Hera's definitely on the way up to castle. The villager's coming for that right now. Yeah, siege is going to have to be key, because Hera's going to play primarily skirm. If you get a couple mangonels on the hill, puts Hera under a lot of pressure. And, okay, we have... Is that me or is that the game, guys? We're good, right? If you ever have an issue where your stream drops even for half a second one day, it stays with you for a month. So, we've got to pause. I don't think it's a tech tree pause. I think they know these civs. I also don't think it's the game bugging, but I don't fully trust that. No, I'm seeing them typing. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're back in. Remember, Yo's got food eco for a long time, so he doesn't need to invest into any farms. But Yo needs every cav archer to stay alive here. What Hera won't know is that siege workshop... never mind. He does know that siege workshop is up. I'm wrong. And he had to respect it, had to back up. And now the mangonels are going to be on the way from Yo. Look at the direction you have to move on this map for wood. Right? You have to move forward towards the siege. You could technically go to the sides, which is what Hera's going to do now, but that gets really awkward. Hera's fires are going to win water, so we can always add more fish. This is the best thing Hera can do right now, is actually hit Yo's wood line. But Mr. Yo sees it. And now, Yo saw that Hera was running this way for the lumber camp. Hera sees the flag. Yo lands a monster shot onto the skirmishers right before Elite Skirm. That is a great shot from him. He is also down here. He was trying to sneakily redock to get some fishing ships working, but that's not going to happen. Hera's going to find it. Yo has 15 idols inside of his town center not working on wood right now. Hera's still running around. It's still the same situation that Hera can always make some more units. But the cav archers are mobile. And Yo can always make more siege. He's going to be making more siege in the middle. And he finds a couple villagers here from Hera. This is a difficult map to play, guys. Hera will aim for a trap. That was beyond ambitious with the cav archers there. And Hera gets rocked again. Hera losing most of his army here. That was 2 shots from the mangonel. It's just the chaos of this map, guys. I know it's crazy. We had people at the very start saying GG. We had people when Yo lost a villager on the wood line saying GG. It's amazing, though, but Mr. Yo doesn't seem to agree that a mild inconvenience is GG. Mr. Yo's adaptable. Mr. Yo's just like that. He's built different. He's got the water buffaloes underneath the TC. He's got the second town center coming up. In a very nice position to protect the wood and the gold. Hera's town center here, not ideal for the long term. We've seen Hera micro skirmishers against siege before, but the way the game is balanced, siege should counter the skirms, right? All the top players can get the micro, right? But this becomes really a literal uphill battle for Hera now. I think the town center for Yo will complete. He's starting to add in some farms, foreseeing that the food eco is going to be needed. Hera doesn't have ballistics. Should be able to snipe this villager, though. Maybe not. Yeah, he gets that villager. That's good work. And he also sniped a cav archer over here, too. This is why Yo picked the Huns, guys. The start was brutal. I still don't believe he even practiced it. But he's Mr. Yo, so you gotta trust him. Again, we've never had a player go undefeated in group stage. Hera was close before. Viper was close before. I was thinking with how good Hera's been, maybe this could be the season someone goes 15-0, but then you see the group. Oh, man, nice micro from both. Nice micro from both. They trade 1 for 1. This is just a skirmisher over here. And that's a mangonel on fire ships, which you don't exactly want if you're Yo. Let's check the farm transition. Hera's got some good farms, and he's got the fishy ship. So that's a huge positive for him. The stable is up, I think, just for the Bloodlines upgrade, so the Cav Archers have more HP. That upgrade hasn't come in yet. Another villager goes down for Yo. Mangonel for Yo needs to roll forward. Hera is always expecting another one, but there's actually not another one on the way right now. Would love to see Hera consider ballistics here. And the second armor on the skirms feels really helpful. A little bit surprised that Hera doesn't have one of those things. He is going to drop the town center, but again, he is booming away from the bigger wood lines. And there, Mr. Yo sees the skirms. What a game already, guys. What a start to the series. These players always feel destined for top 4. Mr. Yo sees the mangonel, loses one Cav Archer, but it's Hunts. He will take that trade all day. He ends up taking down the mangonel. He'll take down a couple villagers with it, and he can run away. Mr. Yo will be happy with that. That's a good trade. I know he's always going to be behind in the resources collected, but just keep looking at the military, keep looking at the map control, because eventually you just hit a wall where you are out of res on the outside and you need to take the center. That has to be Hera's goal, is to get to the middle somehow. Yo's actually added knights. I don't hate knights, but you need the first armor upgrade. That's on the way as I say it. But he also still needs bloodlines for both the knights and the Cav Archers, so... But you don't want to be engaging before the first armor. Once that armor upgrade's in, though, 8 of the skirms probably go down. The stone on this map's tricky, too. There's these little one-tile stone areas around the map. So Hera could take that to eventually build up for a castle, but it takes a lot of time. Hera's never expecting the knights here. He's convinced himself that Yo doesn't have the food eco because Yo doesn't have the fish. But now armor is in, and now Hera actually misclicked the farm. Those skirms get chased away, and now... Hera's got to fall back at home again. It's like this consistent theme for Hera. He's got to fall back. He's got to fall back. He's got to fall back. This is good work, though, to use the fire ships. Very creative move. I like that a lot. You can actually just attack 1 or 2 skirms and back away here for your Yo, and you're still okay. Hera's skirms, if they're stuck on the shoreline, won't add value. You don't want to lose the knights. Yeah, Yo didn't expect that. He didn't expect that at all. Completely forgot about water. I know it feels like you're not really accomplishing anything, but I think if you just sit here on the hill and take down these houses and take down this range and just clear all this up, there's huge value. Whereas if you leave the hill to try and pressure Hera somewhere, which is what Yo's going to try to do because he sees the town center. If you leave the hill, that allows Hera a counterplay to try and get there at some point. Just something to think about here, guys, is this game is developing towards a push to the north. Here goes Hera again with the skirms. There's going to be another knight from Yo. Lots of idols inside of his TC, though. He needs to fix that. You'd expect the reaction to be a lot faster. I'm not sure what's happening, but he's got like 30 idols. I think he's focused on the front. Mr. Yo's villagers will get back to work. The skirms are back to the shoreline. Hera's adding stables behind. He wants just enough knights to clear up the siege, so then his skirms can do the rest of the job here. With only 10 Cav Archers for Yo, that becomes a really realistic possibility for Hera. But he needs the upgrades, especially because it's against Cav Archers. Hera's going to be patient now. He's going to repair that TC. Mr. Yo's dropping an outpost to get vision. This is a crazy first game. Hera shows the knight. The knight doesn't have armor yet. Yo lands a really big shot. The skirms still have to be there after you end up clearing out the siege. Otherwise, Cav Archer versus Knight is more than fine for Yo. Mr. Yo will take that trade. Get a lot of pressure on Hera right now. He is getting chain barding armor, though. He can always add more skirms. Yo trying to sneak another dock. Hera just has a fire galley there every time, but there's going to be another dock from Yo. He wants to switch back onto water to take down Hera's fish. He's convinced himself Hera might have like 15, 16 fishing ships. It's only 10. I actually don't think you need to switch back onto water. But if you have the multitasking for it, why not? I don't think Hera would have ever noticed that either. And his fire galleys are all kind of forward too, right? Like his fire galleys are over here, so he won't defend his fish easily. Yo sees the knights. Yo needs some monks now too. And Yo is going to back up now. That's a lot of knights. He doesn't have the number of Cav Archers. He will get bloodlines. Hera is advancing into the darkness though. He knows his opponent has army in there, but he can't see it. Yo could see that pretty nicely. I think a town center on this hill, a castle on this hill, all of that could be so valuable. The attack round from Yo was not the best. Both the shots kind of miss. And Hera's armor on the knights and the skirmishers being here is going to be enough to push this back. Well played there from Hera. Eco just kicked in, right? Eco just kicked in. And he invested onto the knights. He had to wait a long time for this, but this is a great raid. And this is the exact problem that we were saying Hera was going to have. But on Yo's side now, you lose map control on Stranded, and you just run out of wood lines. Yo's got to run to the back now. Hera is flying. It's tough. To go for knights with good upgrades and skirms is really difficult. When you're under pressure, Hera was able to manage it. And this is where his eco is just going to explode. You see the farms go up around the TC there. He actually has found this dock as well, so should be able to protect the water. Mr. Yo is struggling. I don't know if he made many massive mistakes. I think picking Huns is always risky, but he just couldn't get the damage. I still would have liked to see him always hold the hill, but even then, Hera would have had the time to maybe get the knights in. It's just, you need to have eco, right? And Hera's economy, 25k res collected versus 19k. It's made the difference. But ultimately, I said it when he added the knights. Like, the goal here is just Cav Archer mass. Big Cav Archer mass with 1 or 2 mangonels to deal with the skirms. The fact that knights are a problem tells you the Cav Archer mass and upgrades are not there for Yo. He spent most of his time trying to deal with the skirms. The skirms are just the opening. The knights is what you need to eventually be killing off. And Hera, he's got the numbers now to kind of do both. He does have a lot of his knights back here, but he still has skirmishers. He's got the armor upgrade on the skirms a moment ago as well, and the Cav Archer's just not going to be enough, guys. It's a unique approach from Yo, but if he doesn't have an answer for this right now, I don't see a way back now. Yeah, monks could have been good for Yo. He did start to add them. Just a little bit more for Yo. 1 or 2 more monks, 1 or 2 more mangonel engagements. Maybe had he saved those 2 knights on the shoreline and those knights were still alive. There's lots of things to look back to. You could see exactly what Yo was trying to try game number 1, but also Hera showed us what the meta is on Stranded for a reason. That fast castle is just too risky. To give up the fish is pretty brutal. Hera did a nice job expanding his eco. Just a balance of all the things. It's what makes Stranded so tough. You've got so much water and so much land, and way more pressure on both those areas than normal maps. Hera wins game number 1. So, fun game, though. Fun game. I mean, I can look at that and just look at the start from Yo and know that maybe that's something he never tried. He just wanted to give it a shot. I think it's a pretty good shot, considering. But also at the same time, like, he seems like he's warmed up. I feel like he's got his home map picked. He's got a civilization prepped that should perform very well on that map too. So maybe Mr. Yo bounces back. But well played. GG. All right. So welcome everyone. I realizing now I didn't show the draft. I believe this should be the Civ draft. Yeah, so there's the Civ. Sorry I didn't show that at the start. But Hera picked Japanese first. And so when I looked at the maps, I was thinking maybe Japanese on Stranded. But obviously he didn't play Japanese on Stranded. He is going to try what Lewis tried in the first round against ACCM that worked really well. I am 99% certain that Hera is going to drop a dock in his starting pond, which is not really what the map is designed for. This terrain is added. You have the fish for early food eco. And then the idea is this prevents you from farming here. So it leaves all your villagers exposed out on the grass terrain if you want to farm. But let's see. But my prediction is Hera is going to actually dock. He's going to fish these fish, use the Japanese fishing bonus to have the faster work rate, and it will eventually add fish traps. Now, I think Mr. Yo should know that. I mean, maybe am I holding the best players in the world to too high a standard? It's still pretty early. I don't know. But Mr. Yo's usually at least watching other games. So I think that he should be aware of that. I should have seen that ACCM Lewis series, but there's been a lot of games so far. The bigger wood lines are always towards the middle on this map. Yo is actually just going to place the lumber camp out here for now. But eventually that's the goal, is to get to the wood lines. And Hera's actually going for the short lumber camp distance as well. And Japanese have the cheaper lumber camps, so you could always plan on building one out here. The middle, you can dock, and you can eventually make ships, but there's no economic benefit to doing so. And I did see Viper. Viper was the first one who had ever had fish traps on this map. This was a couple years back. He did it, but he did it out here. And then last season, Viper did it here. Does anyone remember who Viper was playing in that? If you don't know, it's okay. I remember who it was. It's a player who eventually got relegated out of Platinum. I can give you hints as well if you want to know. But yeah, Viper did try the fish boom, I think, with Malay. But it was in a different way. It wasn't quite as precise as what Lewis did. All right, here's the hint. This player is a Chilean player. I think it was actually 2 seasons ago. Our base is saying last season we never had this in TTL. No, we must have. I remember Viper doing it before. Yes, Ace got it. It was Viper versus Sobek, but was it a different tournament? It had to have been. Yeah, here it is. It had to have been TTL. Because when else would I be casting Viper Sobek? I think it was like season 3 or something. So yes, well played, Ace. There's the dock from Hera. So yeah, the idea is you just save the fish. Usually you could take it with your vills, but like you have so many other ways to get food with your vills. Elephants and water buffaloes are plenty, so yeah, there's the dock. And what do you do about it? I don't know. You have to kill on land very quickly. And you hope that the fishing ship investment doesn't pay off. That's essentially what you do. In some cases, you can say, if you can't beat them, join them. Ah, you know, Born to Believe might be right. Maybe it was El Dorado. Ah, yes, okay. It wasn't this map. Our base was right. I hate to say the words. It was El Dorado, which has similar elements. Ah, man, I really hate saying those words. Our base was right, but he was right. He was right. Can you kill the dock with man-at-arms? No, I don't think so. The issue is the dock is too close to the town center. So I really don't think you could ever do that. Now, there is a weird scenario, though. In mid-feudal, there's not going to be any villagers around here. So all the vills are going to be elsewhere because there's no food underneath the TC. So you could use scouts to kill the fish. So just wait. You'll see what I mean. But there will be, like, the only villagers that are going to be around for Hera are the villagers on these lumber camps. Now, speaking of, Hera will go this way. Hera will drop the lumber camp over here. Mr. Yo is going to be scouting for that. Really wondering where he can do damage. Mr. Yo is the Ketons. This civilization is insanely strong. Once they get their pastures up, that food eco is hard to compete with. But I don't like Yo's lumber camp. Pastures are what, 110 wood now? I just don't like this situation. I think scouting this forward wood line, placing a lumber camp on the bigger wood lines makes life a lot easier. You can't really do both like the Japanese can because the Japanese have the savings and you don't. I mean, just keep an eye on these wood lines and then keep an eye on how many pastures Yo ends up having. It might be a bit of a concern. Yo has not seen the dock, by the way. So he doesn't know about that. And maybe he doesn't know. I watch every single game. And I play practice games with people. So, you know, maybe Mr. Yo just isn't aware. But there's no way to know. Like, he might fully expect it right now. And he wouldn't have to change anything he's doing because I really think the best way to play this as his civ is to just still play full scouts. So, pastures are basically like a farm, but 2 villagers work on it, and it's 110 wood. And on the pasture, your villagers, instead of plowing the fields, they are killing some hunt that's added to the pasture. Yo does know about the lumber camp. So, no surprises there. Maybe long-term he thinks about a dock or a tower behind there. Hera's opening archers. Now, what might be the reasoning for opening archers is just solely that you put a lot more onto wood. And naturally, you put a lot more on the wood that matches the fish boom style. So, I don't hate that. Here comes Mr. Yo for another lumber camp. Again, the timing. Yo's opening skirms? Oh my god. No, this build is so off for Yo, guys. It's so off. Like, his resources aren't looking good. He doesn't have the wood for pastures. He's running out of trees here. Okay, he does have one pasture. You don't need to drop off the food from the pastures at the mill or anything. So that's kind of nice. But it's a slow build. And it's a slow build against a build that you need to stop before the fishing traps get going. And Hera's getting them going right now, no problem. But we have to say, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. Now, maybe he assumed he didn't see Hera's mill, so maybe he should have been aware of that. Hera could have always milled the back, because it's double berries, though. I don't know, man. The Hun's first pick, you never know if it's a player going high risk, high reward. Like, he's only now on 2 pastures. That is so low. It took so long to get there. And he's massing skirms because he saw the archers. But Hera's going to be like, oh, that's fine. Go ahead, add your skirms. I just won't move out with my archers into your skirms, and I'll add some scouts with all my crazy food eco. I just keep looking at the resources collected, seeing that Hera's scaling ahead. Let's let Yo cook a little bit. Hera will continually add some fishing ships and fish traps. It is big investment. But you have the town center to produce vills, and you have the dock to produce eco. So it's 2 economic buildings, essentially, for Hera. Just 1 for Yo. Oh my god, the person from the Loey the Legend video is here. It says, hi T90, longtime YouTube viewer. First time seeing you live. Here after my namesake appeared in a game. Well, welcome Obi-Wan Kamblomi. Well, welcome to the stream. I don't know if that was you or if that was your cousin or something, but glad you could finally make it to the stream. I remember that cast, yes. How could I forget? This brings me so much pain, dude. This brings me so much pain watching these villagers over here. It all comes back to that starting lumber camp. He's going to be out of wood back here as well. Yo's going to be spending a great deal of time basically fixing his own economy. Hera's economy is perfect. Hera's economy is having no problems. And he's adding scouts too. So Yo built up the skirms. Hasn't been able to use them in any way. Hasn't tracked Hera either. He doesn't even know where Hera's army is. Hera's waiting. He's waiting here for Hera to bring his army forward. And now the archers are actually over here. This is so good for Hera. Unfortunately for him, Yo actually has villagers nearby. So it could have been worse for Yo, but he is going to lose 1 vill. He still has to abandon his pastures. Still has villagers inside the TC. Skirmishers are going to come back home. Hera's flying here, guys. Hera's flying here. I know some people are going to want double dock. I think having 7 to 8 villagers, or sorry, fishing ships on fish traps with Japanese when your opponent has 0 is already enough of a lead. You can just play into farms now, and that's what Hera's choosing to do. It's a tough map to play. It's a really difficult map to get right. But when you look at this, you have to factor in the fact this is Yo's home map. This is the map that he chose. His best chance to get a win against Hera here. And it does not look very likely right now. Both games, he's just been super far behind because of his openings. Like, his strategies have guaranteed him 1,000 resources behind Mr. Hera. But in this case, of course, Hera, went for the creative out-of-the-box approach. Which I speculated is something maybe you should expect because we saw it one other time, but that's just one other time. This is kind of new meta for Mudflow. Hera's performing well. That is a lot of spears. That is a lot of skirms. He has to back off for now. Well, I think we'll see a double and triple stable game from Hera here because there's a lot of map to fight for. Hera's Archer Micro, not exactly what he wanted there. He didn't kill a single spearman there. Yikes. So we're complimenting Hera, and I'm talking about a bit of frustration with Yo, and then Yo turns it around. There's a stable from Hera. There's a stable from Hera. Would not shock me to see a third. He's got the food eco for it. He is forging in on his scouts. Yo doesn't have forging in yet. Yo gets double forging, but the fight happens before it. 3 seconds away from double forging. Okay, now he gets it. There should be enough army there from Yo to hold. Yo also dropping the stables. Oh, now, I like this type of game, dude. It is rare to see full feudal, but These days, players are going to opt for walls. A lot of the maps are a lot safer and all that stuff. But in the map pool, we wanted a mix, right? We want the full army. We want the full walls. We want defense, offense. Someone tell me what Hera's doing over here, because I have no clue. Maybe just sent that villager there by mistake, but... yeah, this is going to be a full feudal game. Hera might stop at the 9 fish traps, because this is about to get messy. Which civ can perform better in the full feudal? The Khitans should be favored in many ways because of that extra forging. That extra damage is crazy. What they don't get is bloodlines. I'm just shocked that Hera didn't actually research that yet. He's had a lot of time. Maybe he went a little crazy on the archers. He does have armor, and he has his own forging. But I think bloodlines needs to be queued up, because that's the advantage you have here over the Khitan scouts, is you get 65 HP versus their 45. Again, villagers over there, so I will instinctively have to look there all the time, which is annoying. This is precisely what Nikov said he was going to do, just to mess with me. And Hera has the scout numbers, and Mr. Yo, yeah, his skirm's kind of out of position now. I don't think Yo knew until now that Hera's going full feudal, or at least producing a lot more. I think Yo was still kind of convinced he could play towards Castle Age. There we go. Bloodlines is in for Hera. Hera still has the scout advantage, and this is a big push back from Hera. And with a lot more scouts coming in behind this, Mr. Yo needs some eco damage. He hasn't been able to do any eco damage. He hasn't even scouted that dock. But again, if he were to win the land army engagements, he can go kill the fish. It will take some time, but he could. Oh, it's a sneak dock from Hera. He wants a sneaky demo into the wood line. Listen, I'm gonna be as real with you as possible. I think Hera, the second his fish didn't get spotted or touched, he felt like there's no way I lose. Right? There's no way I lose. How could I lose? And he probably saw how slow Yo's opening was. He's like, Yo open with skirms? It's like, no, there's no way I lose. And now he's going to make things interesting. He uses the market a lot. He's going to click up to Castle Age, but he's got a dock there. Guys, Yo doesn't see that. Honestly, you could have just docked from home. I still think this villager was maybe unintentionally sent forward. You dock from home, you can still accomplish the same. We do have a pause now. But, yeah, I mean, Mr. Yo's still producing army. He's going archers. He's going scouts. He has to clear this army and get some damage in against Hera. I'm a little surprised that Hera's tried to click up. It's worth the risk, of course. But let's see. We do have another pause. Now, in 4 days, the new DLC comes out. As someone who has early access to the DLC, I will tell you, if you've done any testing and you've done anything with the new DLC, it changes your hotkeys. So get used to hot pauses, and we have a pause now. Also, we have Hera in my chat, but it's his wife. Okay. Did you intentionally do that? Hold on, my game. I just got a lost connection to game server. Can you like not type on a player's account in chat, please? I think they dropped. Hold on. What happened, JBR? Sorry, a lot of things happened at once there. Apparently the game ended. Oh shit. Guys, I think a big fight happened and the game ended. Damn it. What the? All right. So this was a round where the game dropped for me. Okay, so that's weird. There was a pause and it ended the game for me. So there was a pause and it didn't come back. Okay. We're back into it, folks. We're back into it. Hera's on the way to Castle Age. Yo doesn't know that there is a demo coming from the right side. I mean, Hera's been way ahead this whole game. We know that this build is going to win him the game as long as he doesn't lose a big fight. He's got fully upgraded scouts. Here comes the demo from Hera. Yo has never seen this. Oh, and Hera's going to wait for the engagement. And here comes the demo. And Yo has to shoot it with the archers. And nothing happens. But he did have to shoot it with the archers. And the fact that he had to shoot it with the archers means his archers weren't on the scouts. There could be another demo from Hera. Yo is going to defend this. I think it was kind of assumed because of the drop that it was Hera who ends up winning this game. But he didn't land the demo he wanted. And he's going to have to wait for more, but he will still be in Castle Age in 20 seconds. And then he could just get even more upgrades on the light cab. And Yo's numbers are still so poor. Yo's pastures are big built, but it just feels so late. He did put a scout there next to the dock. Hera's up. Horrible news for Yo. Hera will get armor, Hera will get light cab, and Hera will get husbandry. And Hera did actually demo the scout, which is funny. But he will bring in another demo here. Yo is trying to wall this area. Here comes the demo now. I don't think the demo was needed, but a demo would certainly cement it for Hera, and it doesn't. Freaking anti-hype this moment here, huh? Anti-hype with the demo. Everyone wanted to see the demo, but Hera holds the gate open. He runs in, and GG. Yeah, sorry about the lackluster end of that game because of the disconnect, but I think we all knew Hera was going to win that. I am going to back out very quickly to get into the third game because we had to rejoin. All right, game 3. What I was just saying is how important it is for Yo to snag a win here. For Hera, obviously, he is 5-0 right now in the groups. Things are looking good for him. But a lot could change. This is still just the second round, but every win counts. This map is Monocle. Hera played this in one of his 3 quick victories against Lucho in the first round. And he actually played Dravidians, I believe. So he'll understand Yo's Civ. I like both Civs here. This map so far has been dominated by Man-at-Arms. And in the past, it was dominated by Scouts just because of the amount of food that's out here on these shorefish and the turtles. Basically, 1 mil invested there gives you roughly 1,000 free food. It's also really fast. So if you have villagers that are on food in any other way in the mid-game, you're probably behind. In the really long games, you do need to transition into farms. Mr. Yo. I'm not actually a big fan of that mill. Would you guys agree? I might be being too particular now with Yo. But I would mill here. Maybe it's not that big of a difference, but I feel like you get more food there. Either way, he's still got some food around there. And he's probably considering the Man-at-Arms opening. Man-at-Arms into archers for Dravidians is very strong. But Armenians can go for long swordsmen in feudal age. So that's typically how this matchup plays out. Now, to counter the Armenian builds, I feel Dravidians is one of the best. Because you get the additional wood. You can open Man-at-Arms and it's much cheaper. And then you can play double range archers. So I like double range archers. Nikov is saying you can't mill there, noob. Oh. Man, I hate to say this too, but I think Nikov is right. Yeah, it's tough to know where you can build when you're casting. I think you could mill here, but I don't think you could actually mill here. Yeah, that's true. Nikov is right. Back in the day, there used to be a feature while casting where you could try and build with a piece of wall, and you could essentially find out if there were holes in someone's house wall or if you could build in certain areas of terrain. The way we spectated was different back then. There wasn't a separate program. It was actually an in-game spec feature. I don't think that will ever come back, but that was always nice in those moments. So Yo's on the shorefish. Yo actually skips his lumber camp, which I don't hate. He'll get the wood back later. And Hera bringing in his boar now. Hera's got the mule cart, of course. And Hera will come out to build the mill. Yo's scout has been very active over here, so he didn't actually push in that many deer. He's actually left his deer over here. And Hera pushed in his deer instead. What is Yo trying to do with this scout? What's the reasoning for this scout being here, I wonder? I guess he probably feels like he doesn't even need to push the deer because he's got the shorefish, so you could just skip it entirely. But, you know, if you go for this build, guys, I think this eliminates Man-at-Arms because you delay your lumber camp for the fast food. He'll place his lumber camp here. He'll get that, but notice he doesn't have anywhere near the wood for the barracks timing. Those deer got pushed in close enough to the TC where I would maybe consider taking one if I were Yo. Oh my god, eat it! It's right there, bro. Now it's gonna walk away. Yo's scout will come home. And yeah, Yo's gonna queue loom. I think this is just super fast archers here from Yo. And Hera doesn't have the barracks yet, but he could still add it. And I would expect the barracks to be somewhere around here. So. Yeah, lumber camp's very cozy. I love the lumber camp. And taking deer, taking sheep for now is fine. I'm completely fine with that. It's just more so long-term. Once all this is gone, you're going to want to have as many villagers on shorefish as possible. Though in Yo's case, he won't be spending food as much as Hera. And Hera runs into the town center there. Hello? All right. Well, I mean, I thought Hera knew where this town center was from his scouting before. But maybe he's confused because the deer were so close. But Hera's scout is weak now. That's a very big deal here because you can't block off your militia as easily. Part of what makes Man-at-Arms strong is the blocking of the scout. Hera might have even considered abandoning the build if he knew he was going to lose this, but he already had committed to it. Gets a little bit housed, so the militia are a little delayed. Yeah, I got to cast it both ways, right? I feel like Hera's build isn't quite as clean with the timings as it could be as well. But still, you have to figure that the core of the build is good. Core of the Civ pick is good. Just like to see the scouting from him to know he doesn't know this is open yet. And there's still going to be a gap here, which Yo needs to find. It is very holy, these woodlines. Wow, and Yo is adding militia. Okay. He's adding militia even later than Hera, so he's sticking to what I thought initially. Hera will drop a tower. Hera, I think, is really confused because he hasn't seen anything yet. And Yo's scout was there really early. There's a level of paranoia when you're up against certain players who like to sneak, where you're going to convince yourself that there's going to be a sneak there. I think it's just also a safe move, and that way you can protect the shorefish. Yo's doing the same. Yo is still open there, but it doesn't matter. And here comes Yo. He's going with 2 Man-at-Arms. There should be a third following. I don't even know where it is. Maybe I'm missing it, but it says he's going Man-at-Arms with 2? I thought he had another one in queue. Archer range is up. There is still a hole on the outside. I don't think Hera knows about that. Hera's going to assume that Yo is fully walled. And we'll see if Hera can get longsword in. But for now, no interest in that. He's just gone for the archer follow-up as well. They're both essentially doing the same thing. The same thing, but Hera has more momentum. Yo's army hasn't accomplished as much harass. Interesting, Hera's actually building a mill on berries. He does have 8 villagers here, and Yo still only has 4. And look at the difference in resources collected. I mean, it is that clear, right? You have to have villagers on these shorefish on this map. Otherwise, you are just behind. Hera shows the archer. Yo will back away. Hera backs away too. But, I mean, still could get longsword at any point in time. So, you get longsword with the archers, and you're just in a better position. There's still only 4 villagers on the shorefish. Would love to see a lot more being brought forward. Hera's still got the 8. Hera will drop another mill here soon for efficiency, I'm sure. Mr. Yo just 1 step behind Hera today. Yo will add skirms, which feels natural in the situation where the opponent has archers. I like Hera's patience with the longswords. I feel like sometimes you see people rush it, and then they miss out on other things. Then they just don't have any archers or skirms. Feudal Age can be really long on this map, so I think this is fine. Forces Yo into some stone walls. Good stone walls from Yo, though, because now Yo can counterattack. Now that this army can't immediately do eco damage, now he'll go for the counter. Hera doesn't see this. Hera doesn't know. There are some archers there, and they'll show up behind the wood line. Let's see what Hera chooses to do here. I think, did he just overchop the tree? No, he didn't. Hera just chooses to bring a skirmisher in. Yo's sending the man-at-arms around. Hera with the house walls, and Hera continues to go forward. Okay, if he had arson and longsword now, he could completely nuke this tower. And Yo has brought a lot more villagers to the shorefish now. Mr. Yo is extremely patient, so I think he just was happy to take his time. Still waiting for the longsword upgrade from Hera. I think he's about to click it. And there it is. So 40 seconds away from longsword. That's a Castle Age unit. Like, it's no joke. And you have to be out here to be competitive, so it's not like you could just stay in your base. Yeah, and Hera also has the range units as well, right? It's not just longsword. And one of the plays that I've seen from Dravidians against this is you go double archer range. So you go so many range units that you just outmass the opponent's range units and then can take care of the longswords. But there they are. There they are. Eric, Romans are a good play for this too. You can go for the armor and the man-at-arms, but Longswords completely wins that matchup in Feudal. In Castle Age, when Romans can then, match it with Longswords and armor, that's where Romans are better. But in terms of Feudal Age, there's really no civ that can compete with the Armenians right now. At least with this meta we're seeing. And that's strictly with the infantry. Dravidians can compete. Other civs can compete, but you have to have a lot of ranged units. Hera's done a really nice job to match the opponent's ranged units with the longswords, which is not easy to do. And just shorefish count, he's got 20 villagers on the shorefish. Yo's doing the same. Yo's got 14. Hera just controlling the game. Hard not to feel like he feels like he's in control when you watch him play here. Because Yo's just reacting to him every single step of the way. Hera's going to dive? Oh, that's crazy. Yo doesn't have farmers around, right? To garrison. Hera's going to dive. He'll kill one vill. He'll focus down some of the archers. He kills two vills, and he's going to be into the wood line. You could consider this a risk for Hera, but not if your units are just better. Yo did not expect that. That's a move we could see on a couple of these maps where players will not farm around the TC, so you don't have the villagers around. That's 3 villagers dead. All the wood lines idled for Yo. The gold is idled for Yo as well. And again, just a super clean opening against an opening which is solid. It's adaptable. But nothing about this opening from Yo was like, yes, it's just going to completely match what the opponent is bringing him. It was just 2 man-at-arms. It was just 1 range. I've seen some sharper builds in platinum, but also in silver and in gold where people are ready to go. Hera is just going to fire away from here and about to get another sweep. We'll see more mills coming up. I mean, there's no comeback potential for Yo. If Yo plays like this against Hart and Winchester in the group, I favor Hart and Winchester as well. Just maybe having an off day. We get used to people being super consistent, and we get used to like the same level all the time. Doesn't always happen. And of course, Hera, one of the traits that makes him so good is his consistency. So you know what level he's going to bring every time. Typically, I would say the same with Yo. I love this from Hera, by the way. Why ever go Castle Age when you have a Castle Age unit? You just stay feudal. You just keep spamming longswords. This is the way to do it, guys. These longswords are so strong, there's no sense in going to Castle Age for anything else. Just keep freaking sending it. He's going to dive here. Yo is out of shorefish, by the way. He's got to take shorefish away from the tower pretty soon. And yeah, it's GG. And that was a stomp. That was a stomp. I expected a better performance from Yo. I expected exactly what we saw here from Hera. Hera gets the win. That was my prediction was that Hera would win the series. Thought maybe Yo would have a really good home map choice, a really good civ choice. But his home map and his #1 pick was the Mudflow situation with Ketons, which looked suspect at best. So, strong performance from Hera so far. He gets a 3-0. Mr. Yo luckily still has 3 points from his first rounds, and the opponents could get a little easier. But again, in the group of death, how easy is it really going to be? Hart and Winchester are definitely going to love that result. Because now if you're Hart and Winchester, they're gonna feel like they could beat Yo themselves, maybe. And then also, they might plan around getting 1 win in the group stage against Hera, and that would make it really tough for Yo to recover. Remember this series, guys. I know it's Hera. I know Hera's going to win a lot of games, but remember this series when it comes down to the end of Group B.